making the move from city to countryside is often a momentous step.
Never in a million years I would imagine I would be seeing a house like this. Never, ever.
But for many years, Escape to the Country has been supporting countless people on the hunt for a new home in a more rural location.
What do we think of this?
Oh, my! Chocolate box.
We've travelled to the most picturesque pockets of Britain.
Take a look at that killer view.
That's amazing.
To showcase thousands of exquisite country properties.
Oh, but how pretty is that?
That our buyers just couldn't resist.
Seriously, get your checkbook out now.
Join us as we catch up with those who bought their dream home.
I really did feel that the house gave me a hug.
To find out how the move changed their lives when they escaped to the country.
Over the years on Escape to the Country, I've encountered lots of reasons why people make the move. Sometimes it's because they have a new job, or because they want to escape the rat race, or they simply want to enjoy beautiful views like this. But another theme has emerged over the years, and that's when families and couples make the move out into the wilds so that they get closer together and form stronger bonds. And that theme of togetherness is what has brought me back to the countryside to revisit some of our successful house buyers and find out whether it worked.
Today I'm visiting the rural county of Devon in the southwest of England and Shropshire in the West Midlands. Later on I'll be catching up with Simon and Katie, who have only just moved into their country property but already feel right at home.
It's a real heart's house, this. Every time I come in the drive, I smile.
But first, I'll be meeting up with Londoners Helen, a writer, and her horse-loving daughter Kathy, whose lucky break had given the family a chance of a lifetime.
They talk about living the dream, but this really is the dream. We had this opportunity and it's just absolutely wonderful.
Back in the autumn of 2012, historical novelist Helen was on a quest to find a family home in Devon with her daughter Kathy. They had been living in a rented property in Walthamstow, East London for 17 years, but their rural dream was about to become a reality thanks to a stroke of good fortune.
The reason why we want to move is we unexpectedly had a little bit of a windfall, which has given us the financial opportunity to move away. We want to move yesterday. It was just so nice to get away from London, and the opportunity has arisen and we're going to take it, aren't we?
Yeah.
But it was Kathy's passion for horses that was driving the family's enthusiasm for a change of scenery.
We've always really wanted to move out because of having the horses not practical really for where we are, so finding somewhere with stables on our own land will be a good move.
Helen's husband, retired refuse collector Ron, was happy to take a back seat in the property search and let his wife and daughter make all the key decisions.
Helen knows what I want, I've told her, and I trust them wholly to get it right first time.
With a study for Helen and stables and land for Kathy's horses the main priorities, they wanted a character property with 4 bedrooms and, if possible, a separate annex for Kathy, so she'd have some independence. They had a maximum budget of £620,000 and didn't want a project. With Johnny Irwin taking up the reins, their equestrian property search started on the outskirts of the village of Chittlehamholt in the north of the county. Johnny showed Helen and Kathy a historic offering dating back to the late 1700s.
Oh, this is nice.
Isn't it just?
Oh, yes. And lovely and quiet.
Wow, listen, there's nothing to hear. Nothing at all.
A former dairy farm, the stone house was packed with original features and period charm.
Now then, I'm not sure just how important the kitchen is to you ladies, but I thought this was rather lovely.
Yeah, it's quite
This
nice
is
size
nice.
actually, isn't it?
It's a proper farm kitchen, isn't it?
Just through there's a lovely little dining room with patio doors going out to a sun terrace. Certainly you spend a lot more time in the house because you work from here as well, don't you?
Exactly.
So if I can just squeeze past you there, Kathy, let's go to the living room next. Well, this is where you're starting to feel the real age of the property and the character, hopefully, that you're after.
Oh, this is nice. I can imagine Christmas here, can you?
Yeah.
A door from the main reception room led to a potential study for writer Helen.
Is this big enough for a writing room or a study?
Yes. It's nice and light and airy, and I've got a view, and I'm not going to get any work done.
Oh.
Upstairs, there were 4 bedrooms in all, including 2 good-sized doubles with exposed beams.
Oh, nice.
4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. A really lovely family bathroom, but I know you said ideally you'd like to have your own bathrooms. You don't have that here. OK, so this is a compromise.
Although there wasn't a separate annex for Kathy, her horses were well catered for outside, with a block of stables at the end of the garden and 13 acres of land. There was also a cowshed and dairy which offered great conversion potential for Kathy, subject to planning consent.
How much do you think this house is on the market for, with all of its land?
I'd say, what, 600?
OK. Kathy?
What do you reckon?
I think maybe a little bit more, maybe like 615.
You'll be pleasantly surprised to hear that this place is on the market for offers around £575,000.
Oh, right. It's quite a bit lower then.
OK, definitely sold.
It was early days, but the property search had got off to a near-perfect start, with the price of the first house coming in £45,000 under budget.
I love the house. It's just the right sort of period. I can feel there's such an atmosphere in there.
It is mainly the space in the house, I think, more than the actual land and the stables.
That was a great reaction to the first property. The former dairy farm, with all that historical detail and character, it really set the bar very high. But as we know, Johnny Owen is not a man to rest on his laurels. He had 2 more Devonian delights to tempt Kathy and Helen.
The second offering was close to the village of Bishop's Nympton, where Johnny showed them a more modern option, built only 4 years before.
Here's the second house. You know, what's your first impression of that?
First impression is it looks very sort of plain and ordinary, but I think it could be looks deceptive, maybe.
Good. Well, keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Let's see what you think of the inside. Let's go.
Let's go and have a look.
Although not a period property, the interior still possessed character in a contemporary guise. It was centred on a large entrance hall with bespoke wooden features.
Now, I know neither of you are particularly keen cooks,
Oh,
but I think you might have to learn.
Yes, it's quite a big kitchen.
this is a nice big kitchen, yes.
Yeah, it's a bigger kitchen than in the other house. I don't know, I'll probably use the range, so you won't.
No.
Towards the rear of the house was a snug or small study for Helen's writing. The main living room was back off the entrance hall.
Another nice room. It's a nice size. My feel is that it's not a home yet because it's new. There's no sense of the past and of people who lived here before that. But then, well, you make it a home, don't you?
Upstairs in this immaculate home were 4 bedrooms, all of a good size, including 2 doubles, which were en suite, giving Kathy her own sleeping quarters.
This is a nice size.
At least you get your own space then, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, unlike the first one, which didn't really have any space at all.
It's a shame, that.
It still all depends on what's on the outside
Well,
and
yeah.
everything.
And that is, in some ways, even more important than the house for us, isn't it?
The land amounted to 4.5 acres, much of it made up of paddocks, and with a number of adaptable outbuildings that could have been developed into stabling facilities.
Land that needs a bit of thinking, maybe some attention to make it horse-ready, I would have thought.
But, yeah, in the long run, yeah, you could probably make something of it if you wanted to.
So, you know what's coming.
Yeah. Oh, now this is going to be hard.
I think maybe around 590.
590, all right.
I was going to go, thinking maybe a bit more. I was going to say 615.
Right, well, this is on the market for offers around £650,000.
Oh, so it's high, yeah.
That is higher.
I thought it would be higher, yeah.
£30,000 over their budget, but cash buyers Kathy and Helen were in a great position to negotiate.
The land is smaller, so it'll be easier to manage.
This is a blank page. You've got to write your own story onto this house.
Two, well, completely different houses. Hopefully something to compare against each other.
Yes.
And that is it for today, so let's go back.
OK, right.
For our final property, the mystery house, Johnny took Helen and Kathy to the village of Weir Gifford. Dating back to the 16th century, this proposition offered fantastic potential for the horses and gave Kathy scope for independence. But it did require work, a risk, given that they were keen to avoid a project.
This is nice.
It reminds me of like an in-off of one of the old films, like fantasy films.
Right, or maybe a fantasy novel.
Yes.
Inspiration, maybe, for the next one. OK, well, look, good first impressions. Let's get inside.
A side entrance in a modern extension led straight into the kitchen.
What do you think?
I think this is a nice compromise-sized kitchen. It's not too big.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit more,
but there's
modern than...
enough room to move around here.
The rest of the house had period features in abundance.
Something a bit different, I think. Come right in.
Oh, yeah. I like this. Nice fireplace, nice and cosy.
It's got a fireplace both ends.
Yeah, well, you did. I mean, going back to what you said you wanted, you can imagine yourself in an older building with an open fire. Well, you got your choice of which ones to use.
One for me, one for Ron, or one for you.
Upstairs had a self-contained area Kathy could make her own. At the back of the house was a double bedroom arranged as a twin, with an office next door and a bathroom. There were 3 further bedrooms for Helen to choose from. Outside, across the driveway, a detached double garage could have been converted to stables, where Johnny had a surprise to reveal.
So above the stables is current planning consent for a one-bed apartment.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
OK.
Well, this would be all right, wouldn't it?
Quite large, actually, isn't it? So.
But for you, I thought it was ideal. You've got independence nearby, though.
Yeah, that is a lot easier in that sense of that independence, yeah.
With the garage plans offering Kathy complete separation, all that was left was to explore the land and discuss the price.
So all in all, you've got comfortably over 6 acres here. So,
oh, dear.
Land for your horses. You've got a lovely house with potential for your own accommodation as well next door, above the garage, which could be stabling. You know where I'm going?
Yes, I've now got to make a guess. I'm going to go over budget, 650.
OK. Kathy?
Yeah, I think a bit less, so I'm going to go for about 600.
Good guess. Offers around £599,999.
Right.
Just recently reduced from around 625.
So that, I mean, that's well within budget and even does allow us enough for doing that conversion as well, so...
Yeah.
Under budget by £20,000, there was money left over to complete the conversion for Kathy's accommodation.
Nice house, got a nice atmosphere, very welcoming. Being on the edge of the village makes sense. This is far more practical, really, for what we should be looking for.
Have you sorted out who goes where?
Yeah, I think it's got possibilities upstairs, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's still a lot to think about.
Very well, yes.
Let's find you somewhere to do that thinking, and then maybe have a chat afterwards.
OK.
Just this way, mind your step.
After discussing their options, Kathy and Helen had whittled it down to 2.
I like the third place because it is near the village, but I did like that cottage garden at the first one.
So what's the next step for you then?
I think I would like to come back to look at number 1 and possibly the mystery house again.
So, which property did they finally settle on? House number 1, the former dairy with its characterful stone farmhouse and the stables at the bottom of the garden? Or the mystery offering, with the bonus of the separate living space for Kathy and potential for the horses?
I know that Johnny left Kathy and Helen mulling over 2 properties, but it was pretty obvious to me which one they were going to go for, and I'm delighted to say that they did buy our first house, this converted dairy with stables attached. And 5 years later, I've come to find out how mother, daughter and horses are getting on in the countryside.
The family moved from East London into their 300-year-old farmhouse in Devon a few months after their offer was accepted, in the autumn of 2012.
Hello. Oh, you must be Helen.
Hello.
Kathy, I recognise you from the television.
I recognise you too. Come on in, mind your head.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
Come through.
Helen and Kathy were so charmed by the period property, they haven't felt the need to make huge changes to the inside of the main house.
Mind your head here.
Yes. Wow.
Yes, our kitchen.
God, it's a beautiful country kitchen, isn't it?
It is, yes.
This must have been a change of pace from Walthamstow.
Yeah, well, I think one of the big things is it's quieter, isn't it?
Yeah. So how's it been? How's it been living in the countryside?
Really nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, a lot better.
Yeah, wouldn't go back.
Yeah, you both look very kind of relaxed and chilled.
Yeah, I really enjoy country life.
Has it inspired you? Are you writing still?
Yeah, I've done 3.5 books since I've been here.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I didn't do much writing the first year.
I bet you were too busy enjoying it.
I was too busy looking out the window. Yes.
The kitchen window overlooks the Tor Valley, the riverside setting for Henry Williamson's book Tarka the Otter.
One of the nice things is watching the light. I mean, I do have a sight problem now, which is why I wear my lid, as I call it. Watching the light change on the hills over there it's just, you know, one minute to the next, it's different.
But there's tons of birds I can see. You've got the feeders out there.
So many different species.
Oh, there's quite a few out there, isn't there?
Really?
So.
Nuthatches, woodpeckers, bullfinches, pheasants. We actually rescued some baby pheasants.
Yeah, they're quite regular to the feeders.
Got ducks and hens and
a couple of geese.
With so much activity going on in the garden, I'm surprised Helen has managed to find time to write anything, as her study also enjoys the view over the Tor Valley.
Come on through. This is my study.
Was this here before?
No, this was just the patio. Behind you was the dining room. Come straight out onto a gravelled patio.
So how soon after you moved in did you build this?
The year later, I think, wasn't it? A year later, it became my study.
Wow, it's just great.
Sitting here looking out those windows, I don't get a lot of work done.
No task. Did you? Johnny said you might get too distracted to work. Is that the case?
Yes, very much so.
It feels very relaxing. I feel we could just sit down and stay here. But I'd quite like to see the rest of the house.
Yes.
Should we go to? Was it the sitting room? That was the big room that
Come
Johnny showed
through.
you.
Yes.
Both Helen and Kathy seem really happy living here. But what about that drawback to the property, the lack of a separate living space for Kathy? Seeing that the old dairy outbuilding across the driveway remains unconverted, I'm interested to find out how they've adjusted to living under one roof, as we take a peek at the main reception room.
Come on in.
You loved these beams, didn't you? Actually, you talked about having Christmases. You must have had great Christmases here.
Yes, we've had some lovely ones. I think my only slight disappointment is they can't have a big Christmas tree because there's not enough.
And tell me, how did you live under one roof but independently?
We did for a while, but through that door over there, we've now got the extension where me and my husband live.
Oh, you've got a husband?
Yes.
You got married?
Yep.
Oh, well, that is a great story.
Yes, we've acquired Adam as well, haven't we?
Adam's your husband?
Yeah.
Is he through the door?
Should be.
Oh, that's great. So can we have a look at your quarters?
Of course. Come through.
We'll catch up with you later?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where previously the door led to a study that Johnny had suggested Helen work from, it now opens out onto Kathy's new kitchen, part of a completely self-contained two-storey extension.
Oh, my word. So that was the back of the house?
That was, yes.
Oh, and when did you do this?
I think it was about April 2014.
So it was a year and a bit after you moved in?
About that.
So this is your domain?
Yes, come through. And this is Adam.
Hey, lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, great. So when did you come on the scene?
They moved down in January 2013, and I followed down a couple of months after.
Oh, so you're not from around here?
I'm from Walthamstow as well.
You followed?
Yeah, we met back in East London, and obviously started dating Kathy, and then she told me that they were moving to Devon. So yeah, I followed down sort of 3 or 4 months later.
Yep.
So what have you got here in terms of the extension?
So we have the lounge, and then you walk through the kitchen. Upstairs on the left-hand side, which was previously a bedroom, is now been converted into a bathroom. And then above us here, we've got the bedroom with the views out over there onto the countryside.
You must have killer views.
Yeah, they're very nice, yeah.
Well, very nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah,
I'll get back to work.
Yeah, exactly. We'll find Helen.
Yeah.
I love it here. It's great. What a great development. See you later.
See you soon.
The family was able to purchase the former dairy without a mortgage and build the extension thanks to a stroke of good luck.
If I remember correctly, it was on for $575,000. What did you end up paying for it?
We paid $550.
Oh, great.
Because we were cash buyers.
Oh, yes, you were cash buyers.
Yeah.
And I heard that it was a financial windfall.
Yes, we won the lottery raffle on the opening night of the Olympics.
Oh, yes. It was a lottery win.
Yes.
Wow, how amazing. Gosh.
Yeah, I didn't believe Ron at first. You know, he's always getting his numbers wrong, you know. But, yeah, I checked them through and...
How long did it take you to be convinced?
Probably about half an hour. Before.
And here we are.
And here we are, yes.
Well, you seem like you've got a really great setup here. It feels very kind of warm and friendly.
It's a nice, happy house anyway. I think that was one of the first things, well, we both noticed when we came through the door with Johnny, especially going into that old bit of the house. It was just... I know a lot of people say this, that when you walk into a house, it's the atmosphere of the house and that, but I really did feel that the house gave me a hug as we walked through, and I think that's because of the history of the place.
But you wanted to obviously be together, but also be independent. Is it working or living together?
Well, I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's the odd day of...
I should probably ask you independently.
Yes. That's the odd day of something, but it's nothing really, but that's like any family anyway.
I think the nice thing is that because we can be independent, but we can also be together if we want to. Yeah. They've got their own front door. They can shut the door if we want to, and I can shut them out as well.
How's Ron?
He's fine. He's enjoying himself down here, keeping fit, even though he's in his 80s. So walks the dogs, mends the fences. So, yeah, I think country life's agreeing with him.
And Ron still has his beloved racing pigeons, housed in a new loft in the garden. They're also enjoying the Devon country air.
The birds are happy. As long as I've got me birds, I don't mind where I go, as long as I can have my pigeons.
But let's not forget the main reason the family wanted to move to the country, Kathy's horses, who no longer have to stay in a livery yard, but are stabled at the bottom of the garden.
These were the three that were here.
That's right.
This new?
Yes.
And these are your lovely horses.
This is Lexi.
Lexi, hello.
Kathy is a prize-winning show jumper and has added to her equine team since moving to Devon. But Lexi, who travelled down with her from London, is still Kathy's number one.
Oh, they're gigantic as well. She's a real beast. And how is the jumping going?
Yeah, it's been going really well. Normally, with her competing, she's normally in the top 5.
Oh, great.
So...
And we're going to see you do it in action?
Yeah, I'll go and get her tack in a minute and we'll take her out.
To help Kathy practice show jumping at home, a section of one of the paddocks has been levelled off to create a sand school. And husband Adam, her head groom by default, is always on hand to help with the fences.
Kathy looks so happy on a horse.
Yeah, well, she's been riding since she was quite tiny, about 3, and she's just a natural.
Yeah.
It's one thing that she can just do. So I'm not sure whether she's very brave or completely balmy, but...
Probably very brave. Well, it's so lovely being here. The sun's come out.
Well, it's nice to have had you here.
It's just really lovely to revisit people and see that they've got everything that they wanted and more.
Especially as it's just, they talk about living the dream, but this really is the dream. It's, ever since I was a little girl, I'd wanted to live in the country, but work and circumstances keep you in town. So we had this opportunity and it's just absolutely wonderful. Oh. And we are very grateful for Escape to the Country for finding our lovely house.
Oh, we're really grateful that you invited us back. It's really heartwarming. I'm getting quite emotional. Kathy and Helen, they wanted independent living but keeping their family together under one roof, and I think their beautiful new home solves that problem admirably. Now, for our next couple, their move to the countryside was all about solving that age-old problem, the long-distance relationship.
In the spring of 2017, Simon and Katie were living in Newbury in Berkshire, but only saw each other at weekends, as Simon's job had relocated to Shropshire.
It's really difficult with Simon being away. You tend to live the life of a single person when you're on your own for 4 days a week. One of the things I'm looking forward to about the move is a feeling of being settled. We're not just looking for a house, we're looking for a home.
At weekends, the sociable couple both enjoyed entertaining friends and were enthusiastic cooks who also loved to exercise.
We like walking, well, you particularly like walking.
I love walking.
But we both like cycling for pleasure. I also mountain bike, but also getting out on the motorbike as well. So nice country roads, beautiful scenery. Yeah, it's really important to us to get out into the countryside.
They wanted to be within an hour's commute of Simon's work in Telford and were after a 4-bedroom house with an open-plan kitchen for entertaining. It needed to have a large garden, a garage for Simon's bikes, and they wanted to be within a community. With their Newbury home already sold, they had £500,000 to spend. I started by taking them to a rural location just outside the market town of Shifnal, where I showed them a former granary built around 1900.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's got those
It's got
windows
that
and
lovely
doors.
green colour.
Green colour. Wow.
Well, I wasn't
We like
expecting
that
the colour.
colour.
Oh, very good.
Transformed into a family home in 2003, the Victorian farm building retained many original features inside.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
That's nice.
Surprisingly big when you get
It
inside,
is.
because it's the full width of the property. It was just a shell.
You can see the age of the property from the depth of the windowsills as well. They're amazing.
It flows.
Yeah.
It flows really well.
Along with this large entertaining space, there was also a dining room and a cosy snug on the ground floor.
I like the fact that you can come from, what is essentially an open plan area into that much quieter area. So winter evenings,
exactly,
nice and
Cosy.
quiet. That's us.
Upstairs, there were 6 bedrooms spread over 2 floors, more than enough space for when Katie's children and grandchildren came to stay.
They're using this as the master bedroom because it's got an ensuite through there, quite a big ensuite actually.
And this is nice and light. I love the light coming in through the window.
Outside gave Katie the garden she wanted, but Simon would have had to build a garage for the bikes. All that was left was to talk money.
I think it's going to be over budget 525.
And I think 485.
If you stick a pin right between those two, you're pretty much spot on. It's on at £500,000. And it's not been on for very long, so there might be some, negotiating room there too.
Bang on budget, the converted granary had impressed them both.
First impression, definite wow factor.
When we first walked into the house, it had a really nice homely feel to it. I think one of the things that would concern me a little bit is the fact that there isn't an immediate space for the motorbike.
For our second offering, we headed north to the village of Adderley, where we'd lined up a handsome character property for them to view.
What do you think of this?
Look at that chimney.
That's nice.
OK, first impression's very good.
You've got a single garage.
Yep.
Thought to date back to the 1800s, the house had been extended to the rear and a grand entrance hall led to a high-spec, open-plan living space.
Feast your eyes on this.
This is nice.
OK, that's more like it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a smile on your face now.
That's nice.
That's nice. Entertaining.
Yes.
Just got entertaining written all over it.
Hasn't it just?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Come on into the kitchen. It's beautifully done.
This is a nice space.
No, it's very well done.
At the far end of the generous open-plan area was a comfortable sitting room with a huge fireplace.
We could just move into this.
As well as a downstairs bedroom, there were 4 more upstairs, including an impressive master suite.
It's just incredibly light.
Plenty of head height. That's lovely. And it's actually the same colour scheme as all of my bedding and
Or it's a sign.
put everything in. This could be a sign. It could be a sign.
Coming in at just under half an acre, the garden had a ready-made vegetable patch and was home to chickens.
I think it's lovely.
What about the price, though? How much do you think this one is on the market for?
I think probably about 480,000.
I was going to say £480,000 as well, so I'm going to say 481,000.
So this house up on the Cheshire border is on the market for £465,000.
Goodness me.
OK.
Well inside their budget, the second option was a ready-to-move into character property in a village setting.
Really pretty house, really pretty.
The chimneys, for me, are just amazing. Really just exuded exactly what we're looking for and feel in a property. Really, really good.
I was pleased as punch with that first day's house hunting. Katie and Simon were a delight to be around, and they seemed very pleased with our first two properties. But next up is the Mystery House, and as you know, the Mystery House can throw everything up into the air again. But because we had two strong contenders, I thought I'd take a gamble with the location of the third. Our mystery proposition was in the hamlet of Stoke-on-Tern, in a remote and rural setting. Simon and Katie wanted to live in a community, and although there were a few neighbours, the closest pub was 2 miles away.
Very idyllic, isn't it?
This is really pretty.
It is very, very pretty.
As you can see, it's quite remote.
Feels very secluded.
The property was a former coach house built during the Regency era. To the right of the entrance hall, where horses were once stabled, was the sitting room.
It's not big, but does it need to be?
No, it's cosy.
On the other side of the entrance hall was a generous kitchen.
This is lovely.
No, this is nice.
Could you imagine this working socially?
I think so.
Well, for me, the island becomes a focal point that people will gravitate to when you're preparing food, so...
That would work really well.
The property was mainly laid out on one level, with a sitting room on the other side of the kitchen. The rest of the ground floor included 3 bedrooms, one of which was being used as a gym. There was a further bedroom up one set of stairs that could have made a great guest room, and up the main flight was the master.
It's really nice.
Really pretty. Plenty of space.
So you've got a little dressing area here with windows on that side, and then you've got a quite nice ensuite with a bathtub, no shower.
And I like the fact that this is actually quite separate from the other bedrooms as well.
Great reactions inside, and outside, Simon already had plans for the wraparound garden, as long as the price was right.
A couple of raised beds down there, the seating area around the corner, beautiful. I really like this, and I think it's going to be out of reach, and I'm going to plump for £525,000.
I'm going to say 495.
This is on the market for dead on £500,000.
OK.
OK.
Right on the money, the remote, romantic mystery house had indeed thrown everything up in the air.
This is amazing. It goes on forever. There are so many rooms, and the space is unbelievable. It really is brilliant.
You like it, no?
Yeah.
Right, I don't want you to have any decisions right now, because I'm going to take you away, we're going to have a drink, and then we can talk about all the houses.
OK.
Is that OK?
OK.
Absolutely.
Follow me.
By the time we sat down to discuss their next move, there were 2 properties in the running.
So our plan of action is to go away, to make sure, just take some time, and I'm talking
24
tonight,
hours.
24 hours, with a view to making an offer on the mystery house.
Hooray! An offer, wonderful.
But we have a plan B, that if we weren't successful in that, then we would look to pursue house number 2.
Another offer!
So which property clinched it in the end? The mystery Regency coach house with its unusual layout and challenging location? Or the substantial ready-to-move into village home with the open-plan entertaining space?
I left Simon and Katie with a plan A and a plan B. I know that they really preferred the mystery house, but if that fell through, they were prepared to put an offer in on that handsome property with the striking chimneys. So which one did they go for? Well, I'm happy to reveal that they managed to secure the mystery house. And they've been here a couple of months now, but little birdie tells me they've already managed to make it their own. Let's come and see. it's freezing cold today. Last time I was here, it was absolutely sweltering weather. Now it's midwinter. Hey! Oh, lovely to see you.
Alistair, how are you doing?
Good. Do you remember last time it was absolutely boiling? Yeah.
Oh,
it's freezing.
Why don't you come on in?
Yeah, let's go and see what you've done.
Yeah, we've had a few changes.
Oh, this is much more your style, isn't it?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, this was the room that confused us when you brought us in here. I couldn't see initially how it was going to work.
I thought we'd lost you at that point.
Yeah, you really had. Yeah, you had. It's much better now, and it really works for us.
Yeah, it's a great space.
Despite spending many years apart, even after completing on the property, Simon moved in alone, whilst Katie saw out her notice period with her job in Newbury.
So you've been here 3 months, really, full-time?
Simon more or less moved up here in the week.
Because you were in Telford.
In September.
I lived here when I needed to, and then back down south, so we could spend as much time together. But yeah, when I was up here, it gave me the opportunity in the evenings to do what I needed to do in terms of decorating.
You've done quite a lot if you've only been here 3 months. I'm impressed.
It's amazing how you can nag from a distance. Have you finished the flooring yet?
Let's go on. What else have you done?
Well, I suppose the kitchen's next.
Lead the way. This is your tour.
So, a bit of a change in the kitchen as well.
This has completely been redone.
We wanted to bring it up to date, but we didn't want it to be too modern because it just wouldn't fit the house.
Simon did the kitchen refit himself during the run-up to Christmas, juggling his job with the renovations.
The one thing I do remember was that the layout of this house is long and thin, isn't it, like a sausage?
Quite unique, yeah. It's a real heart's house, this. If you actually seriously thought about it, you'd never buy it because it is that weird layout and it doesn't work in a lot of people's heads, does it? But every time I come in the drive, I smile.
Although it is a big, long house, it's great when people come and stay because they have an element of privacy because
they can never find you.
Yeah, basically.
Don't ever end.
They're gone.
Simon and Katie also have plans for their master bedroom, partly prompted by a plumbing issue in their ensuite bathroom when they moved in.
In the ensuite, there was only a bath in there before, and I much prefer a shower. The bath, that went down the recycling tip because we had a bit of a problem when we first moved in and turned the central heating on. Pressure was a bit low, so I wound the pressure up, and that revealed a leak in one of the valves. But unfortunately, it was in an inaccessible part of the ceiling void, so I had to take the bath out to cut a hole in the wall so that the plumber could get in to fix it, which it's done. But that's fine because we're now going to turn that into a walk-in wardrobe. And then this space behind us, we're going to turn this into the ensuite because there's plenty of headroom.
That makes sense, yeah.
Having already made changes to the kitchen and living room and with plans to the bedroom, Simon and Katie are leaving the rest of the house for now, allowing them time to enjoy their new surroundings. But Katie, who moved into the property after Simon, hasn't found it as easy adjusting to the change of scenery.
And when you finally came here, how was it?
Oh,
you struggled.
I really struggled. The people I worked with on my last day were so lovely. They'd written me the most amazing card. I'd had a horrendous journey up here. I left at 1 o'clock, I think, on Friday lunchtime, and I got up here for about 5. And I pulled up in the drive, and Simon opened the door, and he's like, "Yay, you're here!" And all of a sudden, so that took a bit of getting used to. And then I started my new job, which is brilliant, lovely people. But again, after the first day and driving in the dark there and driving in the dark home, and I again walked in the door and Simon said, "How was it? How was your first day?" And
More tears.
Oh dear.
And you just put your arms around me, didn't you, and said, "I've ruined your life, haven't I?" And I'm, yes.
And the 2 months that you were here on your own, how was that?
It was great because I went down the pub most of the time.
To eat, just to eat.
To eat,
yes.
Simon's pub trips have delivered more than just sustenance. As this venue lies in the very heart of the community, he's found that landlady June has been instrumental in introducing him to the locals.
Hi, are you the famous June?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, lovely to meet you. I've heard so much. This man, he owes his integration into the village to you.
It's been brilliant, actually, because June's able to sort of tell us when we're looking for something. I say the milkman. found the milkman through June. And
How long have you been here? How long have you had the pub?
It will be 11 years in July.
Oh, right, so you do know everybody.
Yes. Yeah, see, the pub was closed when we came.
Oh, right.
We bought it and we reopened it, so...
Ah, that's great. Should we get some drinks?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Right. What can I get for you?
Can I say my usual, please?
Apple juice.
Yes, just the apple juice, please.
It's early days, but there seems little doubt that this was the right move for Simon and Katie.
And do you feel that you're settling in after your wobbles at the beginning?
yeah, I am now. It's a scary thing to do. You uproot your whole life, move it somewhere where you don't know anybody, you don't know where anything is. You change job. It's scary. Don't think it's just going to be, and we're there. It's not. It's not. But it's brilliant. It is brilliant, and I think it's only going to get better. And certainly for us as a couple, I think it's
been great for us.
It's been the right thing for us to do.
I think that's the final thing I wanted to ask you, because we were very struck by the fact that you had been living kind of shuttling back and forward and commuting and living so apart for so long. How is it now to be kind of in each other's pockets? Is that a good thing, or?
No, I think it's done nothing but good for our relationship. It's given us stability that wasn't there. That was, the instability was forced upon us by the circumstances. So we have that stability now.
Better check in with you as well. I've learned you never just listen to one of you two.
It's when we're at home together, it's not like you're living in a hotel anymore. It's certainly better for me from that point of view. And it's just been nice to just be relaxed and enjoy each other's company and have a lie-in and just sit and read a book and not have to worry about things. And it's been good. I think we're going to be here for a long, long time, aren't we?
I think so, yeah.
Well, here's to that.
Cheers. Thank you very much indeed for coming back to say hi.
Well, thanks for buying one of our houses.
Oh, no, thanks to you.
There's something really lovely about revisiting our home buyers, because I realise that we're not just about bricks and mortar, but about changing people's lives. Helen, Kathy and Ron and their magnificent menagerie of animals all in one place, but with a degree of independence. And Katie and Simon reunited after years of geographical separation. So I hope you've enjoyed watching and that you'll join us again next time for more I Escaped to the Country. If you dream of escaping to the country in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland or England and would also like our help, why not apply online at bbc.co.uk/beonashow.